Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Carol and today we're playing more BROTATO. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so for today we have the king. They're just insanely strong at the start because they have plus 50 luck, which is just such a huge bonus. I think out of almost all of the characters, Lucky and King are probably my favorites just because of the flat luck bonus. And they also get like plus 25% damage and attack speed for every tier 4 weapon you have, and plus 5 max HP for every different tier 4 weapon you have. So you want to maybe try to build around this 5 max HP bonus by building all sorts of weapons. But the downside is that they have minus 15% damage and attack speed for every tier 1 weapon, as well as minus 2 max HP. So the start can be quite rough, especially if you are not able to find the pairs of tier 1 weapons. But I found that taking the SMG is just usually, as usual, the best choice, but especially on King, because getting minus 15% to 3 damage, which is the damage that each bullet of the SMG does, doesn't really change the breakpoints, so it still deals 3 damage. And there we go, with our luck and with the extra chance of finding weapons on the first few rows, we are able to find the pairs right away, so we only get the debuffs from our character for 1 round. And it's not super huge. It's not like we become super weak, especially in the early stages, where there are very few enemies and they do very little damage. So it's quite okay to try to find a couple of pairs, speculate on them. You don't want to have like 5 different level 1 weapons, because then you just don't deal any damage at all. But it's okay to take a couple at least. And once you have like a few level 2 weapons, you're just pretty much set to just keep taking some normal stats like you usually would, range damage, max HP, and you also want to be taking luck as well, just so you're able to find your higher level weapons. We locked the recycling machine as well, which is just an amazing item. Just gives you so many materials overall over the course of the run. Just because there are so many different kinds of builds in this game, so if you get like elemental damage, you want to recycle it, and instead of getting 9 materials, you get way more for them. Such as this one. I don't really want to lose dodge very much. It is a consideration though, because we only have 4 dodge for now, and max HP is important early, but it's okay to just pass on it for now. We also find our other pair of SMGs, so we are quite happy with that, and thanks to our 60 luck we are able to find a level 3 rocket launcher already, so this is looking quite promising already. And this is not like super uncommon with the King. Just having so much luck overall makes you much more likely to find good items like that. There's one caveat though, is that if you want to try to build with this much luck, you're gonna get a lot of high level items, and they are quite expensive as well, so sometimes you just have to pass on like spiders or Etsy couch, because even though they are strong, they are not like the most important thing for your build, which are the weapons. So you gotta be a little bit careful, gotta be a little bit try not to get baited by the rarity of the items you see on shop. I think it's just better to roll for the weapons. And another thing that I usually talk about with other characters is that I really like having any kind of gun overall. I don't try super hard to go for like 6 SMGs, for example, because I find that the guns complement each other and it's much easier to just get higher level weapons in general if you're buying what the shop gives you. You don't have to focus super hard on a single specific build. You can just try to make do with what you're given. So if the shop gives you revolvers, for example, I just buy them because I just want to fill my 6 guns as soon as possible, just to be as strong as possible. And now we're just looking for upgrades. We can combine a couple of SMGs as well if you find something like a laser gun. And at this point of the game, I don't think I'm taking level 1 weapons anymore, so we are just looking for the upgraded ones. Hopefully, with our luck, we are able to find those as soon as possible. We also want a lot of max HP because it's still quite easy to die in this game. Max HP, armor. There's a revolver we're gonna lock for a level 3 revolver as well. Just wanna try to be gunning for those guns. Just trying to make a red one as soon as possible because the red buffs, like the tier 4 weapons, just give you so much damage. As well as max HP, which is like a neat bonus. I don't think they should give you max HP, to be honest. You're already strong enough with this character, getting 15% attack speed and damage. Or rather 25, I think, for the tier 4. And here it's hard to pass on plus 3 armor when you have 0. Get a second tree in the hopes that we're trying to unlock that character that wants 10 living trees at the end of the round. So I am gonna take basically every tree that I see until I unlock that character. It's not like trees are bad or anything anyway. I usually always take trees. They just give you so much, especially when you have luck. They synergize super well with luck, giving you more materials, more crates. Enemies also give you more fruits as well, as you can see. There's like 20 fruits in the ground. So it also incentivizes us to buy the items that, such as the lemonade, which increases the healing from consumables. There's a flamethrower, but I don't think we want those. Another rocket launcher I'll always take. And now I'm just taking like explosive damage, some sustain, some max HP as well. We are quite strong in damage already. I don't think like we should be taking damage items super heavily. We're mostly looking for the weapons that will give us a lot of damage if we find a tier 4 of them, as well as tank items to supplement all the damage so we don't die while we try to find those. Yeah, wave 9 passed. I didn't even comment on it because we have 2 rocket launchers. Like, it's not like a bunch of enemies is gonna pose a problem. We also are able to find our first level 4 weapon, which is amazing. We found the Fin as well, which gives us some lifesteal and movement speed, if I'm not mistaken. So we are quite happy with that. But we are still hurting for max HP, 29 max HP. It's not a lot. It's very easy to just take like a couple of random bullets and just die suddenly in this game. And since we're already feeling so strong, I want to make sure that we don't randomly die like that. It's like trying to make your run more consistent when you're already sort of high rolling is important in this game, I think. Because it's quite easy to just think you're super strong and that you don't have to care too much about the run anymore, but then you just die randomly in a stage you aren't thinking about. Like, if you don't worry about the stage that the boss is going to show up, for example, it's really easy to just forget about it and die right away. So still want to be a little bit careful. Now we're able to find another level 4 weapon, which makes us even more strong. Gets us a little bit more max HP as well. More strong is incorrect, right? It's stronger, the right way to say it. I hope you excuse my weird English. I'm still trying to get used to talking in English. I usually just read and write, mostly. Or listen as well. Talking is not something I do super often. But there we go. Find some dodge as well. More dodge. Crit chance, because why not? It's level 4. We can combine our rocket launchers for another level 4 weapon. Get a sniper rifle, which is just super strong. I said I didn't really want to take too many damage items, but I think just taking that warm range is not super important, and 12% damage is quite a lot still, even if we are already quite strong. It's just nice being able to one-shot enemies and just destroy the bosses as well. It's not like we're hurting so hard for defenses. We have a lot of armor, we have a good amount of dodge as well. Max HP could be a little bit higher, but that's fine. We have some speed, which helps a lot as well. And there we go, we just find a gun right away. A level 4 gun. It's another revolver, so we don't get the +5 max HP bonus. But that's okay, just getting Audio attack speed and damage from the level 4 is just more than enough to be worth taking. At least in my opinion. Sorry for all the pauses, I was actually talking to my therapist while recording this run, if you can believe it. If you have ADHD, or if you think you have, even if it's undiagnosed, I highly recommend you try to play something mindless like this. If you're trying to have a conversation that is hard to focus on, because I find it helps to distract your brain while you talk, so you don't like lose focus when you're talking. There's always something to focus on, and it's consistent as well. You're not like suddenly distracted by something new. It makes it a little bit easier to just be present in my conversations, I find. I'm not sure if it's gonna work like that for everyone, but it's worth a shot if you're struggling with focusing on important conversations and stuff like that. At least it works for me. So yeah, sometimes I end up pausing just because there's like a deep question I have to think about or something like that. But hopefully it isn't too distracting. Just quick little breaks. Helps me talk a little bit about the run as well. Here we're debating taking more luck, but it's wave 15 already. I think just speed or lifesteal would be better. And there we go, we find a little bit more health, a little bit more luck now, since it's so cheap. And we also find our 5th level 4 weapon, so now we're insanely strong. Just getting all of the king bonuses. That's basically how you win with this character. You just gotta lean into the bonuses of the character. Basically every single one of the characters wants you to do that. You have to play to their strengths and not really try to force what you're familiar with. If you're open to the playstyle of the character, I think you'll find way more success in this game in general, instead of just trying to do the same thing you're used to doing every time. And that's usually why I think this game is much, much better than the other Vampire Survivor clones. Every run is just so much more different than the other ones, because the characters are well designed, instead of like being so similar like the other ones. Most of the time in the other games I find that the characters are just like, this character attacks slowly but their attacks are strong. This character has a lot of attacks per second but their attacks are weak. And that's like not fundamentally different from each other. The items you want to get, of course, are going to be different, but it's not like the gameplay changes too much. When you just want to do the same thing, you just want to dodge the enemies and attack them. So if you have characters that incentivize you to do different kinds of stuff with much higher bonuses, and much stronger weaknesses as well, you just have to adjust your gameplay much more, so every run feels much fresher than just doing the same thing over and over again. Even though nothing changes too much between the runs, just a couple of decisions like that, a couple of design choices, make them feel much different anyway. So yeah, see the recycler that we got, how many materials we're getting for recycling those items. Just want higher level weapons, we want some lifesteal as well. Wave 19 already, trying to look for something for more max HP, more damage, more anything, basically. I don't think there's any way we can lose from this point. We find a baby with a beard as well, going into the biggest wave of enemies that the game has on wave 19, which is amazing, just exploding bullets everywhere. Just a little bonus on top of a already super strong run. When you're well set up and you're trying to focus on your weaknesses, you can prepare yourself for basically every challenge that the game gives you. Again, much like Slay the Spire, if you're like trying your best to think about what can kill you, even when you're strong, you're gonna have a much higher chance of winning the game overall. And the last run, we find a revolver that's barely just too expensive. So we are not able to get the 6 level 4 weapons, but that's okay. We still get the win here. Let me go back 1 second to show the Excalibur. Goes back a little too much, but there we go. That's the unlock we get. We get a weapon that gives 200% of your damage and health as your attack, and alternates between thrusting and sweeping attacks, but also has -3 armor for every weapon you have, so that should be super interesting to play with. I can't wait to get that on a character. Alright, that's gonna be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and follow my Twitch if you want to catch me live. I hope you have a wonderful day.